So I'm a dancer. For some reason, a lot of people think that means I work at a strip club, and you know what? I kind of wish I did, because I'd probably make the bills to pay the bills, but that's not what I do. I do street styles and choreography. Before COVID, I took a bunch of classes where teachers often divided us into select groups. That's when a teacher places students into groups for us to watch at the end of class, because these dancers did something special that was worthy of learning from. Selects are usually filmed and posted on social media. This ritual became a ranking system, a moment of validation, a chance to shine or kiss the teacher's ass so you could maybe become select. When I made select, I had a lot of friends. When I didn't, no one talked to me. It was mental. I'd get my ego and soul handed back to me over and over, and sometimes I'd kill it, sometimes I'd cry, but I definitely posted my select videos on Instagram. I crossed my fingers in hopes that all that I endure would help me book auditions so I can collect a paycheck. Despite the struggles, I love being a dancer, even for an audience of one. When you're constantly in front of a mirror, you learn a lot about yourself. Dance is introspective, and the mirror doesn't lie. What faces do you make when you're being sexy? If you think you're ugly, how do you change the way you look at yourself? Can I be proud of me even if no one clapped? So yeah, I worked really hard to get to where I am now. Still crying, still trying to pay bills, but on most days, talented. Last year, I was on my grind working this stupid fancy restaurant, a hair salon, and as choreographer for an artist. I'm on my feet nonstop when I notice pain in my metatarsal, the ball of my right foot. It pulses and burns between my toes. I can't ignore it any longer. I stopped going to classes. I searched for the best podiatrist. She goes, "You can't dance anymore. You have an incurable neuroma." I go for a second and third opinion. No tears, no broken bones, just inflammation. No one agrees. No one has solutions. I'm doing steroids, acupuncture. I'm quitting my jobs. I'm confused and frustrated. This can't be fucking real. Everything just stops. I just turned 30 and literally can't walk. So yeah, this new decade sucks. The only viable option is a cortisol injection, which could potentially end my dance career. So I do the only logical thing. I fly to Korea, where the airfare and medical care is cheaper and more effective than going through the American healthcare system. When someone hears I'm overseas, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so jealous you're in the motherland," and I'm pissed. They have no idea I'm doing ESWT, infrared, hanyak, acupuncture, tons of pills, and a bunch of shit. I am suffering, crying more tears in my audience of one, in and out of the hospital 16 times in 7 weeks. When I'm not in the hospital, I'm in bed watching Twilight and K-dramas until I hate myself. I had nowhere to go in my mind except backwards. I thought I get to choose when to throw the towel in. The future looks dim, so I look back and ask myself, how'd I live my 20s? I reflect on the times I won or leveled up or whatever, but never stopped to breathe. Maybe I was trying to exist better and louder than the person next to me, and I wasn't gonna stop until I made select. I grieved the moments I was moving so fast, I was no longer seeing me for me in the mirror. I got lost in the sauce. I don't want to get lost again. I'm stuck. What do I do? I begin to pray, and then breathe. And finally, I find rest. Everything slows down. I feel the sweetness of life again. My spirit and body begin to heal. I walk a little farther. I stop to take pictures of dead cicadas and touch the caterpillars on the sidewalk. I notice the rust on the bikes piled on top of each other in Ilsan. I count the dragonflies in the Hapjeong sky. I write songs about the loneliness of pain, and I learn to be thankful for the abilities I've always had, but never knew were gifts unappreciated, heroes unsung. I return to Newark in a wheelchair, but immediately book a dance commercial. I move a lot slower now, but I'm still healing. I'm learning to move muscles I didn't know I had, and my dreams changed from dancing another big stadium to walking the George Washington Bridge. For a long moment, I forgot about dance. Everything's much quieter now, and the silence still scares me, especially when the pulsing in my foot comes back. But if I listen closely, I can hear the cicadas buzz. I can hear the song about dragonflies. I can hear someone clapping for all the little wins. And when I look in the mirror, I see myself more clearly now because I trust in my audience of one.